We have Evilswarm. You have no idea how exciting that is to say again. We actually have Virtual World, Floowandereeze, and Fallen of Albaz. The 30% of you that have not smashed the 11 crap out of that subscribe button, what are you doing? Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So the first thing we're going to be looking at here is, this is Evilswarm actually playing Helios to bring off of Macrocosmo. Now, when I first initially saw this list, I looked around. I had to, make sure that I was, still in this realm of existence. And I had to go, holy shit, we actually pulled off a win here. And I'm genuinely, and I mean, of the utmost of excited to see that Evilswarm's back to counter the meta. This is so amazing. So yeah, Ophion just rolls on out here. Your opponent can't do anything with level 5 or higher, essentially. Just kind of win the game. That's easy as 1, 2, 3. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We're actually playing triple copies of Dimension Shifter. We have triple copies of Caster, triple copies of Karikion, 1 copy of Mandragora. We have 1 Thunderbird with 2 giant space rocks. We have triple copies of the Little Rabbit of Adorableness, and we have triple copies of Heliotrope. We have 1 Dark Hole, 2 copies of Pandemic to make your monster immune. We have triple copies of Pot of Prosperity for filtering. 1 Rhoda. We have 2 copies of Thrust to get some searching. We have triple copies of Unexpected Die. 1 copy of Evenly Matched, now 100% searchable off Thrust. 1 Infection, triple copies of Infinite Permanence, and 2 copies of Torrential Tribute. Then we have 1 Zillantis. I don't know why we're playing this, but alright. We have 1 Lingaribo, 1 Dahark with 1 Virus Swordsman. We have 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 Baguski, 1 Silent Arc, 1 Gagaga, 1 Ouroboros, triple Ophion, 1 Bahamut, 1 Zeus, and 1 Abyssal. And then we have 1 Mandragora, 1 Helios, free level 4 fodder. We have 2 copies of Divine Karate, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Mind Control, triple copies of Dimensional Barrier, 2 copies of Evenly Matched, and triple copies of Macrocosmo, wrapping up your interesting list. Next up is Virtual World with a Kashtira package in here. We're actually playing some Fenris and some Unicorns in here to kind of facilitate some forwarding and abilities to make some stuff. Also, free Wind Monster gives you the chance to kind of actually stabilize here and punish your opponent. And, well, Birth is just kind of free real estate for this deck. Technically, these cards expedite the process to make level 10s, because you just need a level 3 tuner plus 1 of these, and guess what? You get to climb on up into one of the larger monsters, which is actually kind of cool. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have 2 copies of Fenrir. We have triple copies of Good Old Unicorn. We have 2 copies of Nyan 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 Nyan. 2 copies of Lily. We have triple copies of Lulu. We have triple copies of Lao Lao. We have triple copies of Gigi. And then we have triple copies of Emergency Teleport, your 1 Birth, 2 Lightning Storm. We have 2 copies of Desires. We have 2 copies of Wraith Sloth, 2 copies of Raigeki. We have triple copies of Kowloon, 2 copies of Qinglong, 2 copies of Chuche, and 1 copy of the Zuan Wu. Then you have 1 copy of Wolo, 1 Fortune Tune with 1 Utopia Beyond, 1 Shangri-La with 1 Zeus, your 1 M7 with your 1 Beatrice. We also have 1 Shen Shen, 1 Vermilion Dragomech, 1 Tzolk'in with 1 Changying. We have 1 Stardust Charge, 1 copy of Crystal Wing, 1 Coral Dragon, and 1 Baron de Fleur. Then we have 2 copies of Droll Knockbird, triple Giant Space Rock with 1 Token Collector, triple Book of Eclipse for Mass Cleanup. We have triple Evenly Matched, and triple copies of the Solemn Judgment Friend. Wrapping up, combination of Virtual World good stuff here, and a nice backing of Kashtira to kind of expedite the process and make this deck feel pretty backboned, which is pretty good. Next up here, we have Floowandereeze. Now, you're going to take a second here, you're going to look at this list, you're going to look up and down, you're going to look around, you're going to go, is that a barrier statue, Robbie? They just banned that card. Well, let me tell you what here. They did, actually. They did ban the barrier statue. This deck just doesn't care. Alright, we're just going to go grab the water one now because, you know what, it's the next best barrier statue. Congratulations. You forced this deck to evolve in a way that you took away their barrier statue. That was a winged beast. Now they're just going to go ahead and play the next barrier statue. Yeah, I love to see it. So, yeah. it's not as consistent as it was. That's the important part. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, one copy of the Torrent, triple copies of Dimension Shifter with triple copies of Egan. We have 2 copies of Empen with triple copies of Rabina. We have 1 copy of Stritch, 1 Toucan Sam with 1 Apex Avian. Then we have 1 Mega Ryza. We have triple copies of Dark World No More. We have triple copies of Floowandereeze and the Advent of Adventure. We have triple copies of the Magnificent Map, still fully legal. 1 Unexplored Winds with triple Duality and triple Extrav. And then, of course, we have triple Small World to go search for our friend. Then we have the 1 Terraforming and the 1 Floowandereeze and Dreaming Town. Down the extra, you get the 1 Win, 1 Underworld Goddess with 1 Frigette, 1 Anima with 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix with your 1 Juggernaut Libby, 1 Gustav Max, 1 Recital Starling, 1 Promenade Thrush, 1 Assembled Nightingale, 2 copies of Downer, and 2 copies of Zeus. And then you got the 1 Standard DD Crow, triple copies of Spooky Dogwood, 1 Book of Moon, 1 Called by the Grave, 2 Cosmics, your 1 Feather Duster, 2 Dimensional Barrier, triple Featherstorm, and 1 copy of Trap Trick here. Wrapping up much different approach here to this deck, and I like to see some diversity and options out here, because this really does showcase that there's a lot of cool different things that you can do here. Next up here, we have Fallen of Albaz featuring, well, I mean, obviously you're going to play Lubellion, like this is literally the best card in your deck. We are playing a 45 card variant here, and I also see that we are citing Branded Befallen down here. But it activates a card or effect that targets a Bysteel monster you control and no other cards. Or your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your Bysteel effect. You target 1 light or a dark monster out of the graveyard and banish it if you do negate that activated effect. I mean, targeting doesn't come up quite all that much, but it's still a resource that you need to be aware of, and you can just kind of side in here and use. So we have 1 copy of Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, triple copies of Aluber, 2 copies of Blazing Cartesia, 2 copies of Drosworm. We have triple copies of Magna Hut with 2 Saronir. We have 1 Tragedy with triple Fallen of Albaz. We have triple copies of Space Rock, triple copies of Lubellion. We have 2 copies of Mercurier. We have triple copies of Lower Darkness, your triple Branded Fusion, with your 1 Branded in red. We have 1 Branded in white, 1 Branded Lost. We have triple copies of Branded Opening, 1 Branded Regained, triple copies of Fusion Deployment, triple Super Poly, and then we have 1 Branded Beast, and 1 copy of the Retribution. Then down here in the extra, you have the 1 Written Broom. Thank you, Noosa. We have 1 Dracus Stapelli, 2 copies of Mirror Jade. We have 1 Masquerade with 1 Lubellion, 1 Guardian Chimera with 1 Grand Gondola. We have 1 Garudo with 1 copy of Cordartis, 1 Praskinian, your 1 copy of Brigand, 1 2 Albion, and 1 Alba Lenitus. Then you got triple Ash Blossom, 1 Baldrake, triple Book of Moon, triple Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Branded Banishment, 1 Branded Befallen, and triple copies of There Can Only Be 1 Robbie for this video. Wrapping up the Fallen of Albaz, good stuff. Branded in white actually getting to see play, I think, is actually one of the coolest innovations out here that we've seen so far, just showing up. And then next, we also have another Fallen of Albaz list, but this one's going to be incorporating the Shadal package. Now, the Shadal good stuff is just so that you get access to, Winda down here. You can also, get a splash of a little construct in here as well, and this actually kind of makes things a little bit more fun at the end of the day, which is actually kind of nice. So we have 2 copies of Aluber, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. We have 2 copies of Blazing Cartesia with 1 Tragedy. We have triple effect Veil with only 1 Fallen of Albaz. That's an interesting choice to only play 1. We have 1 Ariel with 2 copies of Nibiru. We have 1 Windy with 2 copies of Shadal Beast. We have 1 Shadal Dragon with 2 Hedgehog, 2 Squamata. Then we have the 1 copy of Spriggan's Kit. Then we got triple copies of Branded Fusion. Your 1 Branded and High Spirits, 1 Branded Opening, triple Dark World No More. Triple copies of El Shadal Fusion with 1 Foolish Brow. We have triple Fusion Deployment, 1 Shadal Fusion, 1 Core, and 1 Schism. Then we have 1 copy of Gravity Controller, 1 Dracos Stapelia, 1 Mirror Jade, 1 Lubellion with 2 copies of Grand Gondola. We have 2 Winda, 2 Construct, 2 Abkalom, 1 Praskinian, 1 Albion, and 1 Alba Lenitus. Then we got 2 copies of Fenrir, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, triple Dark Hole, 1 RB Southerduster, 1 Raigeki, your triple Dimensional Barrier, and triple copies of Evenly Matched here, wrapping up your chunk of goodies here. And like I said, it is really cool just to kind of see what is going on here in terms of good stuff. So what do you guys think about all of the goodies here? Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.